Minnesota is a really unique town that it's very affluent. It's got big corporate hubs everywhere. I think it's highest household income outside of the Eastern Seaboard, Midwest on. Beautiful, beautiful area. My wife used to work there, and it's like the nicest people in the world. It's an education center, affluent corporate center, great airport, best airport in the country probably. But for some reason, it's just not been a championship city. Now, some of it is, and I do believe this is true, because let's say, for instance, the winter weather. The NBA is mostly a winter league, right? Like 70% of it. I don't think it's a great free agent hub. It's cold. You get off that plane. I grew up in Seattle, not a big free agent hub, right?
Yeah.
That's part of it. Baseball, they've got money, but they haven't had an owner that's, willing to do like a Steinbrenner or the Dodgers owner. But football's different. They have had great players. They've had really good coaches. I think they've been well run. They've had more than capable quarterbacks. And they're just this franchise I don't trust in big spots. Now, I'm an outsider, but you go back to some of the biggest games you were in. There are these weird franchises. Like, I always trust the Niners in big games. It doesn't even matter who the quarterback is. Right. They just have a way of doing it. Give me the culture of the Vikings, the quirkiness, the realities of it. What is it like? Because I'm such an outsider on that.
Well, first, when you're going down the Minneapolis and Minnesota Twin Cities love, I was like, did you just jump on Zillow and just hit every highlight that was on there? But then you say the part about your wife, so she would obviously know. It is a great city. The Twin Cities it is flyover country. I think we embrace that. And like you said, we have major corporations here that even, look, I spoke to the Vikings rookies a couple months ago and let them know that, hey guys, this is a great corporate hub that really could enhance your brand. And if you play your cards right, 3M's going to come calling, Target's going to come calling, Best Buy's going to come calling, Cargill's going to come calling, Ecolab's going to come calling, United Health Systems is going to come calling. Like there are. So right, we have a lot of big business, which is fantastic. I think the culture of the Vikings, though, I think that's what's so frustrating, because everything that you're looking for a championship team, they have it.
Yes.
Did the Wilfs know exactly what they're doing when they first bought the team? No, and they admitted that. They're like, hey, it was a learning curve. But I think these last couple of years, big chunk of the last couple of years, dude, they're the right ownership. If they want something internally, they get it. Like if somebody in some department wants something, they're saying, hey, cool, give us a little bit of a report on why it's important and how it's going to help us win, and we'll sign the check. It seems like they have big, big, deep pockets to give the organization from a corporate standpoint and from a football standpoint, everything that they want. We have easily a top 10 fan base, not only in the country, but also globally, I believe. Yeah. The logo and the franchise and the branding is on point. It's up there with a lot of them. We just don't have the championships. We sell out the US Bank Stadium every single game. We sold out the Metrodome every single game. It is as loud and as crazy and obnoxious for visiting fans as any other place in the NFL. So, Colin, I don't know. I don't know what is the missing piece. And I think that's why a guy like Kirk Cousins is so polarizing, because you can point to even the teams that I was on. My first 3 years, we were number one in the league against the run. We were top 10 defense in the league. And we just struggled to find a competent quarterback. We go out and get Brett Favre, and we crapped the bed in 2009 against the Saints. It's like, what else can we do? What else can we possibly do to get there? And I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Was that the craziest game you ever played in?
Yeah, hands down. Hands down the craziest game.
Take me to it.
Well, I mean, obviously for me, it was the biggest game of my career. I mean, we all know the implications of winning that game, and you go to the Super Bowl, and it's what everybody plays for. Having Favre on the team, and I'll mention the 49ers, the game that we played against the 49ers, I believe, was the third game of the season. That was the game that really told us as an organization, as a locker room, this is the dude. Like, it was back of the end zone, Greg Lewis, walk-off touchdown at the end of the game where he had to avoid a rush. He takes a shot and he throws it down the field to a receiver streaking across the back of the end zone that nobody saw but him. We saw the magic. And from then on out, we walked out of that locker room every game knowing that we were going to beat that team. We didn't know by how much and how it was going to unfold, but we were going to win. I've never experienced the level of confidence in a locker room as I did in 2009. So we get to the Saints game, and we felt really confident about them because we have always played Drew Brees and that offense really well. Our defense, for whatever reason, matched up really well against them. Couldn't speak really for our offense, but I know defensively we felt really good. We made some mistakes. We feel like there were some missed calls. We had a handful, more turnovers than you should have in 3 games, let alone 1 game. We have 12 guys in a huddle in a key situation. We get the interception by Favre thrown across his body when technically could he have run for a first down to get Ryan Longwell in a position to kick the game-winning field goal. All of that we're staring at the Super Bowl. I mean, so to be that close, lose in overtime, it was the most gut-wrenching yet most memorable game I've ever played in.
You know what's interesting, Ben, and you see this occasionally. Johnny Damon plays for the Red Sox and the Yankees, right? There is something about Packers-Vikings, right? The Packers have had all these Super Bowls in little tiny Green Bay and well-heeled Minnesota. The Vikings don't. And you steal Favre. They were pissed. They didn't like that. I can remember when he went there. I remember the helicopters. Yeah. I remember watching Sports Center. I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. When Favre came to the Vikings as a former Packer, just take me to the first practice, the first day. To me, it's one of the great sports quarterback stories of my life. I mean, it was treated like the royal family was. I mean, do you remember the helicopters, practice, the coverage, the plane flying in?
I remember all of it, and I'll get a little long-winded here, and I'll go back even further. And I talked to Mark Tauscher about this a couple weeks ago, and I said, do you remember, or was it widely known in your guys' locker room that Brett was trying to get himself to Darrell Bevell in the Minnesota Vikings the year that he went to the Jets? He goes, oh, yeah, we knew. Everybody knew in Green Bay. So we thought we were just kind of privy to that information inside the locker room. The year before, we tried desperately in training camp to get Brett Favre. Obviously, the Green Bay Packers were like, we're not going to send you right to a division rival. Go take a 1-year hiatus in purgatory with the Jets. That's how it had to happen. So when it actually finally did come full circle in the fall of 2009 in training camp, it really wasn't a surprise to us because we knew the year prior, we tried to get him then. And we knew that next year, during the course of that year, as long as Brett stays healthy, as long as he stays motivated, he'll be on this team at some point in time in 2009. But then it's the fanfare and it's the soap opera drama thing that follows the whole thing around. I'm sitting in the Vikings cafeteria at Winter Park. We're watching it on the screen. It's like the whole OJ chase. It's the helicopters. It's the SUV. They follow him all the way into Winter Park. And I remember sitting there with my teammates like, I can't believe this S is happening. Is he really just pulling right into Winter Park? Go down the locker room. Here comes gunslinging cowboy Brett with his cargo shorts on. And he's just like, what's up, guys? And we're like, holy crap, that's Brett Favre. Let's roll, And I got to tell you, man, I've been around Junior Seau my rookie year, and he's the only guy that I think that had that level of magnetism where when you're around him, you just enjoy being around him. And he brings everybody together. And Buddy was one of those guys that just brought a smile to everybody's face. Now, he had a little bit larger personality than Brett, but Brett carried that same magnetism. He walked in that locker room, and everybody just sort of stood up a little bit taller. They puffed their chests out a little bit more. There was this confidence that he just brought to that locker room, even though he was 65 years old, So special player, special time. I really wish that we could have won it, really for him too.
Ben, it's pretty amazing if you look at your history. You played with arguably the most popular football player in either of our lives. at his height, Brett Favre, he really bridged the gap of star, rural America, star. You know, like John Madden had this ability, Ben. They loved him in L.A., and they loved him in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Like there's not many of Brady feels big city, right? Like Tom feels wearing Uggs. Tom is big city. Derek Jeter feels Playboy, big city. And then there's Favre, like Wranglers, cargo shorts. But like if he walked in a tux to a big event in New York, everybody would be like, oh my God, there's Brett Favre.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like did you know instantly at practice? Because there's legendary stories that he wasn't always the easiest to coach. He kind of made her up. Did you sense at practice, like the first couple passes, did you hear him? Was it instant if you'd not known him? Whoa, that's different.
Yeah, I mean, we saw all those Patrick Mahomes-esque no-look passes a lot in practice. You know, the thing I appreciate about Brett, and he's not, I wouldn't say that he's like top 1% of this. There's a lot of guys that are like this, but I think I really appreciate this about him. He kept football very, very fun. And I thought that was pretty amazing for as many years that he had played, all the accolades, everything else. He came out to practice with a smile on his face, and he was ready to go out there and just have fun. He was out there ready to compete. If it was a one-on-one drill with running backs and linebackers doing a pass route drill, Brett was trying to make us look silly. Brett was talking trash to us. Brett's celebrating a little completion on a 5-yard out just because of just that thrill of competition, watching his running back beat one of our guys in coverage. It made us, I think, get excited for practice. It made you kind of forget about the mundaneness of a week 12 practice. And you're like, oh, all right, here we go. It's a Wednesday. We've got full pack on today. We've got 9 on 7, same old, right? Then Brett gets out there and Brett's having fun. Brett's got a smile on his face. Brett wants to make you look silly, and he's going to talk trash to the whole rest of the team about and call you out for, missing a tackle, missing a coverage drop, whatever. He was just fun, and like I said, there's a lot of guys like him, but playing that position, I think it's that important to do that.
I've said before, it's kind of ironic that even though Aaron and Favre are different personalities, it's kind of ending the same way. They've almost become very similar. And I think part of it, I call it, it's sort of the Green Bay quarterback dilemma. There's no owner. So nobody to call you on your shit a little bit, right? Like, Stan Kroenke can yell at Matt Stafford. He's a billionaire. You don't have an owner. It's the smallest town. You can't go to a grocery store. You're the most popular person in the state. There's no other pro teams. It feels almost like a high school town with a big stadium. You've mostly dominated the division. So what happens with Favre and Rodgers, and this is very human, you are the most popular quarterback. If you're a great Packer quarterback, star, Favre, Rodgers, you're impenetrable. You're untouchable. There's no owner. They've always had reticent front office, not out. You know what I mean? Like they stay out, right? They stay out. You have to get money raised through selling stock. It's a totally different thing. And it creates a weird relationship where you're beyond a quarterback. You're almost a rock star. I mean, Kraft could yell at Brady. Irsay did yell at Peyton. And so I look at Rodgers and sometimes I think, wow, what an ego. And then I think, God, Favre at the end in Green Bay was like, I'm not learning a new offense. I don't want to show up for this. And I'm like, I get it. I do feel there is sort of a reality of Green Bay that, as I say this, people would go, God, I'd welcome it. But in life, it's nice to have people hold you accountable. It could be your kids. It could be your wife. It makes a sacrifice. It holds a, you know what I mean, Ben? You know what I'm saying about this?
I know what you're saying. And the first thing I can think of, and maybe this is a really terrible comparison, and you're right there in LA, it's as if they're treated like child actors, and they get so much success so early on. And everybody just puts them on a pedestal. And in a small town like Green Bay, and really a small state as Wisconsin is, you are a rock star. You are an A-list celebrity. I don't know how they can do it and feel like they can live a normal life in Green Bay when they're that status. But I was recently there, this last winter for the Vikings game, and I'd never been through the whole Lambeau kind of experience, right? And we were doing some little teaser shots and whatever. So I was getting more access than I ever did as a player. And one of the people that was with me, because I remember, this place before the expansion, before they added the suites all around, before they kind of bowled this thing in. And they said, all of that plus everything that you see out here is because of two gentlemen, and that's Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. That's it. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows that they are the one of the most iconic stadiums that
they're the economy. They're the local economy.
They are everything. Like, they're not just the Green Bay Packers. They're everything to that city and that state. And so, yeah, I think it's magnified more than any of us can ever imagine. And I think all the bad things that come with it.
Yeah, that's right. It's like the royal family. My mom was British. And you're like, ooh, the royal family. They're all a little weird by the time they hit 35.
Yeah, how can you not be?